Hey everybody, Jeff here, Unique Model Creations, and we are getting unique indeed, people. Just a quick recap of what has gone on so far and into the mind of Unique Model Creations. Why is all my stuff got to be so different? I tell you why, because it's fun. Just flat out. This is art, and artists give their own view of something. What we've got here is the bottom of the saucer. And as you can see here, we have gone through and we want to try a little bit of spotlighting. Of course, you know, this is the TOS Enterprise. So, of course, the registry is located about here and about here. So, of course, me being the human that I am, spotlights. So what we've got here are fiber optics running off of a 3mm LED. Seems to be just nice for running this size of fiber optic. If I can go back and find out what size this is, I'll definitely let you know. Got it, and we've got some fatter stuff somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. Which is actually like supposed to be like a side light, a side lit LED and stuff. You know, that was before started learning about the filament LEDs that I definitely got to start getting my hands on. And then, of course, we have this really small stuff here. Really fine stuff, which it'll find some use on here as well. Do not worry. But just kind of want to show this off. We've got the bridge right here. We've got it painted white and stuff. So we'll be going in here after a while and hand painting all this. And this is, of course, scratch built. Everything that's on here was put together by these carpal tunnel laden hands and stuff. So, yes. And we've gone through, of course, the BC deck, which we've made actual BC deck and stuff. I think what I am going to wind up doing, though, is these 4 windows here. Going to wind up redoing those. They didn't turn out as clear as what I was hoping for. So, but, yes. So, that being said, let me show this off here. You can see we got a couple of markings here with some windows. And the top of the saucer looks a little different. That's because, you know, windows. It don't necessarily have to be permanent. We'll see what we're talking about. We'll see what we're looking at. But, you know, when you're looking up through there, yeah, just a couple of added windows. That bubble in the top of the saucer right there, that rise that goes up towards the BC deck area. To me, it was big enough. Is tall enough, because there is a couple of decks in there actually, to at least throw a couple of windows. Because my take with this model is actually not recreation, because so far, when have you seen me do a recreation of something like on my channel at all? But it's like my take on what I believe. If we designed the TOS Enterprise, you take it from the 60s and you bring that distinct silhouette of a ship, just that right there, you bring that to now, but you give it certain modern touches. That's why the bridge, I scratch built in. That's why it's a little bigger than the original bridge, but that's okay. Because, and here we go, right here with the saucer, with the BC deck on the series, you know, once they cut on that to the series, and you've got, and we stay true to what you've got with that bridge there. So the 4 consoles going around the starboard side of the bridge, and the 3 consoles going around the port side right there. And, of course, you know, captain's chair in the middle, which is kind of giving in the steps going up, kind of gives a plus sign type, you know. And, you know, we kept the same aspect of the bridge. It's just a little bigger. That's pretty much it. And also, you know, you have this wide opening right here for a window viewport. Because let's face it, 21st century, would you have a TV screen or would you have this big ass window with all of your displays showing up there? Because we have the technology to do that. So you give this design, but you give the tech that we already have now. Yes, it would be there. Therefore, yes, I am doing that because it's going to look different. Now, will I ever do a recreation of this model? Yeah, sure. No problem. And if anyone was ever want one, yeah, sure. No problem. Because it is classic. It is, there. But, at the same time, it's like, yeah, it would be cool if you saw this. It would be cool if you saw this. That's why, I'm having ideas. These right here, I want to say were cargo doors on the saucer that were lit. What would they look like with actual cargo door, design on it with numbers? 1, 2, 3, and 4. What would that look like? Small numbers. What would this model look like with docking hatches on it? Because big starship rolls up to a star base. Yes, you can transport over. Yes, you can take a shuttle. But at the same time, too, manual docking hatches that extend out. We've seen it. It was there on the motion picture, which of course, not this starship, but a refit of the starship, and you bring it up to modern times. From the original design up until now, it's like, up until the motion picture, it's like, what more realistic aspect of starship would we see? What would be there? What goes through the mind? That's why a style change. The passing of the refit Enterprise over the screen, sexy going across that screen. Swoop back nacelles, people got questions. I tell you what, is because it looked great. And that's partly what they said. Because it would look good going over the screen and the following of the nacelles. Also because engineering is like up here on that ship. So going back and the nacelle strut starting here and going back towards that's just logical. So, but anyway, back to this right here. I really just cut this on to show the sexiness of the bottom of this saucer. At first, I didn't think this was really going to lit up. You can see they are lit. I've got 2 of these on either side, and that's just enough for me. This little dinghy right here is the photon torpedo launcher. It will glow blue. Or if I, grow up and just get the phaser emitter photon launch, thingy. We'll see, because to a degree, we do still model on the budget here. Okay, that's where this channel started with the model building aspect, and then I went on some random tangent about racing. I don't know what I was, I still do it though every day, so yeah, but model building, we're back. But anyway, I didn't think it was going to be, bright enough at 1350 level. I didn't want to use LEDs. I felt like that would have been too bright. Even SMDs at their size, yes, you can dial down the, increase resistance to it and dial it down. But just the size of fiber optics given on a starship of this size, with the size of a light, but with the casting of a light, it does this right here. And turn that off, and there it is. Boy, let me tell you, that's different. Oh, I love that starring effect that it gives on camera. Of course, I get it in glasses, but, in actuality, you just got 2 lights right there, and bada bing, bada bang, there you go. But, oh my goodness, that is going to look so good. The 1701, NCC 1701 lit up to either side right there is just going to be chef's kiss. It's gorgeous. It is it's actually even from side to side. Now you couple that with the windows being lit across there, and these 3 windows on the bottom of the saucer down here. It's actually it's really, really cool. Which, man, honestly, the 3 windows on the bottom on the, on the pilot episode, those weren't windows so much as those were the nav beacons. The center ones was a nav beacon. Here, the center one was a nav beacon. Those were the nav beacons. And then they changed it. There's a forward lounge now, and those are just 3 windows looking down. I think. I have to look that up to see. But yeah, so I mean, it's the same, but like I say, the difference is in the ship. You see where I have where actual phaser emitters will be on the bottom. And, on the top as well. You can see these two holes right here drilled out because spots that go down here. The only problem is, whereas this forms concave, this is convex. So it's hard to make that light. You can't make the light bend around a bowl, the bottom of a bowl. The top of a bowl, yeah, sure, easy. The bottom of a bowl, not so much. So yeah, we're having to see. What I'm hating is that your main registry here just won't be as lit, maybe, as the other. We will see what we will have to do there, because I want it to be lit. It will be lit. Trust me, it will be, one way or the other. Jeffy's gonna do. Don't you worry. Jeffrey's gonna do it. But it's just a matter of how I'm gonna go about it. I was originally thinking about, just putting the part right here and then putting that over, cleaning it up, and then just scribing the line on down through there and making it like that didn't exist. But I think I'm gonna leave it, and it's gonna be lit. It's not gonna be the nav at the front. You can see here I've got those, here on the front marked off. Of course, the ones on the side were always there. The larger ones I'm going to do away with completely, and give it more, realistic look of what you have. Yeah, the big bubble lights on these sides that blinked were, they were nice in the 60s. Yeah, no. So anyhow, but yeah, that right there turned out nice. That turned out nice. I do like that. Let's turn these lights off one more time. And I'm going to shut my yap and stop all the rambling. And we're going to go ahead, kill this video. And yeah, tell me what you think. This is fun. This is so much fun. This has actually always been one of the joys of working on the model, is that I make these changes and do these things, experiment with creating a work of art. And for me, that's part of the pleasure. Recreating for me out of the box is, I can definitely do it, but I just always have this itching to change it up just a little bit, to change it, and then I start changing it up even more and changing it up even more than that, and then I'm left with something that's, kind of like that, kind of where I'm going. It's still not so much to where I don't feel like I'll ever finish the model. I don't ever want it to be there, because I've definitely got to see these things in their full, completed scale of what I'm trying to do, and I definitely cannot do it beyond my capability, but I'm going to push that capability and learn with it as well. And that's really, really fun. And that's part of my joy of building models. It's one of the reasons why I do. And you go back on the channel and you look at any model I've built, there's always been something that's different from what came in the box. Whether it be that interesting kit bash that I did with the started with the 537 Reliant. My first TOS Enterprise that I built, it was more or less out the box and built like it was. It was my first one, so I didn't want to deviate too much. But at the same time, you look at the end caps that were done on there; those were completely hand built and totally different. You won't see anything else like that out there. Well, that was a long time ago. Somebody's probably done something similar to it, but you won't see anything, like that ish. I'll say ish. So to my knowledge, you won't. It's the same as the Pulsar domes on this one so far. I haven't seen anything yet still like that. And, you go back and you find a video where I did demonstrate it, and it does look cool. And the same with the lighting on this, the saucer on this, the scratch built bridge on this, the additional windows on this model. And, even, around the saucer edge, we've cleaned that up and got those so I can put the saucer together, close it, and see what it looks like. Can't wait to get all that stuff, windowed in and lit so I can see what that's going to be looking like. It is absolutely amazing. Like I said, this is so much fun. This is my joy of why I build. And, it's just a little snippet. I do intend to get video up once I find out where my tripod is of me actually working through a process of doing something, maybe, quite possibly, with the spotlights on here and my working mind. That would probably be a long video because sometimes I do sit out here for hours. In my shop, it's at the end of my carport here, yeah, I sit out here and I just ponder and I'm thinking and going through, trying different things, trying different ideas out to see what will work and how it's going to look. And then I start getting, giddy about how it's going to turn out. And stuff just start looking sexy here. So, yeah, we're going to go forth and keep working on this model and constantly falling in love with it, more and more. And, those of you out there building models, I encourage you to keep building. Those of you who are looking to get started, go ahead and get started. You see, for me, it's not necessarily so much, do I have to replicate this and does it have to be perfect because that's what everybody be looking for. For me, it's what do I want to see on the model? What do I want to see on the starship? And hey, if it goes up and somebody wants it, then they get one-of-a-kind, unique model creation. So, yeah, I'll keep doing that. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye for now.